So I've had a few people ask me, how do I in fact pack my pipe? There are multiple methods out there for packing a pipe, and the method that I use today is not the method that I used to use when I first started. The method when I first started is a very common, probably the simplest method that most people would start out with, some people call it it's the three-finger technique, the family technique. There's a bunch of different names for it. It's just where you pack it essentially 3 times. You pack one in lighter, and quite often people say you sort of try to tamp it down with the finger of a child. So you put in like your pinky and you pack it down a bit. Then you would put more in, you'd pack it down with one of your larger fingers, and you'd pack it down a little bit tighter, and then the third pack you would pack it in the tightest and sort of bunch it all down, and then make sure that it's not coming over the brim of your pipe. And then, to be perfectly honest, for me, it never really worked. A lot of people say it doesn't really work. It's the easiest to get a handle of, but it's the hardest to actually do properly, I would say. And it's a foolhardy technique for a beginner to use, because it's just so hard to get right. So the method that I use is called the Frank method. And it wasn't actually really coined until 2004, I believe, at the Chicagoland Pipe Show by a German fellow by the name of Occam Frank. So it's a very simple method of packing the pipe. It's pretty much all that I use nowadays. So you have your tobacco. This is a nice Peterson. This is the deluxe mixture. I like this one quite a lot. So you take your tobacco and you sort of just do a gravity feed for the first step for the Frank method. And then with the gravity feed, I'll hit it a bit, sort of let it all settle in a little bit more till it's essentially right up to the brim, but not quite overflowing. And then you hit it a bit, remove the mosquito. So there's your gravity feed. Then after you've done your gravity feed, you do the 3 or 4 finger pinch method, depending on how much tobacco you want and the size of your hand, I suppose. So you grab a bundle, or a packet is what they call it. You're essentially making a plug. So you got your plug of tobacco here, and then you position it so that it's over your chamber, and then you hold it now with your thumb, and you slowly just kind of roll it in. And as you can see, not everything is going to get in there. So if you have extra little bits, that's where it's fine. You just pull it out and you just kind of roll it in with the curve of your thumb. So I'm not pressing down into it. I'm not putting my thumb sort of beyond the confines of the rim, but I am just a little bit for that curvature. But it's not like I'm taking my fingers and I'm jabbing it down in the bowl. I find any method that uses that doesn't really work that well. And then I just kind of go around and around like that. And then that is how I pack my pipe. 1 or 2 lights to let it puff up, and then my third light. Usually it takes me my third light to get it really going, but that is the Frank method. I find that's tried, tested, and true. Always works for me. Happy piping, people. Beardly Gentleman out.